So I used to take a lot of pride in replying to almost every single comment that was made on any of my videos, but over the years that's just gotten very hard to keep up with, and it's been harder to answer your questions as they get more and more in depth as we kind of explore new things on this channel. So in this video, I'm going to answer your questions, and hopefully this is a better answer, and I can reply to some people that I might not have been able to reply to. And if you want to leave comments, I think I might do this regularly if you find this helpful. So just let me know, ask a bunch of questions below. Maybe I'll do this regularly. But anyways, let's just dive right in. So first up, we got Andrew Wade. What are your thoughts on Facebook ads versus Instagram ads? And I get this question a lot, actually, which is why I picked it first. And the thing is that a lot of people don't realize they're the same. So you can go on Facebook and boost a post, and you can go on Instagram and promote a post. But behind the scenes, it's all Facebook ads. So when I talk about Facebook ads in this channel, I'm also talking about Instagram ads. Like when I run a Facebook ad, every single time, almost every single time, it's also running as an Instagram ad. It's just part of the settings of that Facebook ad because Facebook owns Instagram. Same with WhatsApp ads, which I've never actually used, I don't think. But then Messenger ads too, which I have used. So all those are owned by Facebook. They're all part of Facebook ads. Next up, we got Deglorian. Is it worthy to start a campaign after a week of the release? And I would say yes. Before, a friend of mine hadn't promoted any of his songs, so I offered to help him out. And his song was already out for a week and a half, and we went really hard, for the first 2 weeks of us promoting it. Keep in mind, it was all delayed a week and a half after the song came out, and it still got on release radar, like an algorithmic release radar boost. And then I don't know if we're going to Discover Weekly eventually, but it did pretty damn well. So don't feel like you completely missed the boat. It is best to promote from day one. But, if you get delayed by a week, yeah, dive in. It's not going to be helpful. It's not going to be helpful to wait a week, but it's better than not promoting it at all. Next up, we got Wally. So iOS 14 only affects conversion campaigns and not video views or traffic campaigns. And yes, essentially, it only affects campaigns where your pixel is being tracked. So the whole thing with iOS 14 is it limits the amount of pixel data that can be tracked by the end user. So if you're not tracking pixel events, like you're running a thing on Facebook or on Instagram, like video views, engagement, link clicks, that's all tracking on Facebook events, not off Facebook events. It doesn't use the pixel at all. So it shouldn't get affected as far as I know. And yeah. Lord Production, and this is actually ties into to the question before. Someone asked, what are your thoughts on Facebook versus Instagram ads? Lord Production asks, is this the same process as Instagram ads? And so yes, essentially. I mean, things will be a little different. Like in Facebook, when you make your Facebook and Instagram ads, in one campaign, you get to customize placements between the two, and you might there's very specific circumstances where you might do something different in either platform. But for the most part, yes, exactly the same. Godiva, I think. Wait, so should I pay the $9 on Hyped It to be able to connect with Facebook ads? Yes. So if you want to use Hyped It, I don't know if you could hear my dog there. If you want to use Hyped It, you have to be in their paid plan to be able to hook up your domain and also to be able to add a Facebook pixel. So yeah, but if you're interested in Hyped It, I do have a link below if you want to join Hyped It. Now you could also use ToneDen. ToneDen has a free tier. I use Hyped It more often, but I do also use ToneDen. It's really, we're in a good position now where it's more about preference and what works best for you than anything else. Every single landing page service for the most part has great features, Mac Porter. Hey Andrew, one of my songs just got a small bump on Discover Weekly, my first song that has ever gotten it. I have about 200 listeners. I was planning on ending my campaign and releasing my next song soon, but could that jeopardize whether the first song will grow in Discover Weekly in the future? Thanks for all the information you give. It helps me a ton. Nice. And then actually some people replied to this. Naveed said releasing a new song will not inherently affect your chances of striking Discover Weekly again with your current song. Multiple songs can trigger Discover Weekly independently, which is the goal. And it might be worthy keeping your current campaign running, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, Naveed is right. So if your song is on Discover Weekly, your next release shouldn't affect that at all. I think now Spotify will only count how many songs are in Discover Weekly up to 10, because I have more than 10 songs on Discover Weekly at the moment. not all of them are doing well on Discover Weekly, but every song is kind of an independent thing, which is different from Release Radar, where you can technically have multiple songs on Release Radar, but they can't be in the same people's Release Radar. So, there's two parts of Release Radar. There's like algorithmic and then the follower one. So like by default, your followers get your new song in the Release Radar, but Release Radar mixes in songs you've never heard before, and that's the algorithmic version. So like basically your followers won't get two of your songs. Like if you release songs 2 weeks apart, they can't get both in the Release Radar. So if Release Radar is a big part of your streams, you want to space things out by at least a month to avoid any potential issues. I don't know if the old one overrides it or if the new one kicks the old one off. I'm not 100% sure which one of those two things happened, but I have talked to several people who've had issues releasing music too fast, essentially faster than every 28 days. But Discover Weekly, good to go. So Joel Cossett, hey Andrew, bought your course, loving it. Nice. By the way, if anyone interested in my course, I do have a link below. It's kind of an extension of all the Facebook, Spotify ad stuff I talk about on this channel. If anyone's interested, there's also if you buy that, and also there's a link below. There's a YouTube course as well, just in case anyone's curious. One suggestion for you: put a little notice of the currency you're using. I'm Canadian, and I assume you're using U.S. dollars. Very important. We're trying to figure out your ad spend on track. So I've never actually brought this up, but that's a good point. And when I do my consulting with people, that's a common thing when I see currencies in euros and pounds. The other day I saw like Singapore dollars, pesos, Canadian dollars, and they're all different, right? So it gets a little confusing when you see my videos. But basically, I'm doing everything in US dollars. I think you can change your ad account to be whatever currency you want. I've seen that option before, but off the top of my head, I don't know what it is. But yeah, for everyone wondering, US dollars, since I'm in the States, so. Christian Arsenault. Love your content. Question. When I click into conversion events, it doesn't have a click Spotify option like it does in the video. It only says all URL traffic. How do you get click Spotify to appear in the dropdown? So this video is for the hyperfollow conversion event setup. And you can still use hyperfollow, but you can't use it in a conversion campaign anymore because they haven't added the custom domain thing yet. I'll link to a video here if I remember to put it there. But if you search my channel for iOS 14, you'll see several videos talking about why that's important and why you can't use DistroKid hyperfollow in your conversion campaigns on Facebook anymore. So this question is kind of a moot point now. I wish there was a better way for me to like add notes on top of videos when things change like that. But basically what you have to do for any service, because Feature FM is a similar thing where like the first time, or actually even Hyped It too, the first time you set it up, you won't have any of the specific conversion events. Like Click Spotify is what ToneDen uses, but Hyped It uses Hyped It Smart Link Click and Hyped It Smart Link Visit. But if you just go into your Facebook account, you won't actually see it. And I'll just share my screen here. If I go to Events Manager, and this is a different ad account with a different pixel, so this is probably a good thing to show. Like, there's no Hyped It Smart Link Click or Click Spotify, and I make a custom conversion, I won't even have them in here. And the reason is it's because I've never fired that event on this pixel. If I added this pixel to a Hyped It page that I had a domain on, and I fired it, then that custom event would show up down here, and then that would let me actually use it in a custom conversion. So even though this is not relevant for DistroKid hyperfollow anymore, it's still relevant for every other landing page service, unless they use standard events. Like ToneDen and Artist Hub use standard events, which has its own perks and minuses. But Jammin Van Dillen, that's a fun name. I get to the last portion in creating a custom conversion in Facebook, and I got an error. 200 permissions error. Why is that? Thanks for all your awesome videos. They are so good, Andrew. Thanks. So I get a good amount of people asking questions about errors. I picked this one. There's no way for me to know every permission error. Like if I see the error and I know it, I'll like reply and be like, oh yeah, just ignore it, or it's this and this. A lot of times, so I'm going to say like generic, if you have errors, like feel free to leave a comment with an error. If I know it, maybe I can help you out. But if it's sometimes Facebook just glitches out and you have to like try again later. So a lot of errors are just BS and they just go away. I've seen errors where people had to like delete an ad and then recreate it, or like duplicate it and delete the old one, and the error goes away. So Facebook is kind of glitchy sometimes. Some people it's worse than others. So some errors you can kind of, you have to work around, and some errors you can just publish anyways and it works. So sometimes, like, if you can do one of those two options. Permissions error to me sounds like you don't have the correct permissions to run an ad for that page or Instagram account. So you might have to go in business settings, go to the pages and Instagram accounts, and make sure that you, so like your personal Facebook account, has permission to use the page and Instagram account. Similarly, you might want to check the permissions on the ad account and the permissions on the pixel. It's all separate, so it can be kind of hairy to figure out which one's wrong, because it could be any one of those, or it could be none of those if Facebook is glitching out. So for all these errors, like, keep in mind that, because there was another one, someone said, I get an error code 1885260. Never heard of that, and you search it up, Facebook has nothing about it. So there's times like that you really have to hit up Facebook's Messenger support, which I will show. All right, here, great. I had to close like a billion tabs. So like if you click this little help thing down here, if you have access to Messenger support, you can click Contact Support Team, and you can you'll get, sometimes the wait time is like a minute, and sometimes it's way more than a minute. So you might have to, you just click this button and you'll see if you have it or not. If it's not there, you just don't have access to Messenger support, and it's just kind of, sorry. There's really no other way to get in contact with Facebook as far as I know. There might be another way, like I would just Google it. I have access to it. A lot of people I work with do, but if you just got your ad account and you've never spent any money, then you might not have access to it. All right, this video went way longer than I was expecting. I hope those of you who answered your questions, you found this helpful. And if you have more questions in the future when I do this, I'll probably pull from this video first, and then I'll go through random comments. I just chose the most recent ones and pick questions that I think I could give a good answer to. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're interested. Make sure to check out those links in the description if you want to get my course or book a consultation. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next video. Bye.